Hi, Chris at TommytoothpasteToys here, and welcome to another car boot haul video. So, we finally had some good weather this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which I was pleasantly surprised about. So Saturday I went out to some charity shops because thinking the worst was going to happen on the Sunday again, where we were going to get rained off. I decided to go to a town and go to loads of different charity shops, and I got loads of items. So I'm going to talk about those first, and then I'll show you what I got at the car boot. 2 car boots I went to actually, and they were absolutely rammed. I assume that was because the last few weeks they've just been completely rained off and no one really got to obviously go anywhere. I think one was on a couple of weeks ago, but it was just kept getting rained on. It was raining all the time, so basically there wasn't many sellers. So this week, as a result, was just absolutely heaving, which was great. And there was loads of sellers, loads of buyers, and I went there pretty late. But as you'll see, there's still loads of bargains to be had, and I got 3 super rare items. They don't come about too often. I have had one before, but I will talk about that a bit more later. You'll have to wait till the end to see those. Right, so let's get on with the Saturday's charity shop finds. So I walked into the first charity shop and I was just there having a little look, and there were some little bits, and then a lady from the back brought out some bags of all these little toys. So they literally just came out, which was quality. So the first bag had loads of these sort of bits. There was loads of little Disney figures which caught my eye. I think loads of these are from Beauty and the Beast actually. Obviously the tiger isn't. I can't remember his name now. It's been so long since I've watched it. The little candlestick guy. I got Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. Oh, he's fallen over. I think that's from Beauty and the Beast as well, which is meant to be the dog, but it's the footstool. I got the clock. This out. I can't remember his name. Gaspard, is it? Have I completely made that up? I can't remember. I got Beast, which is awesome. I got really dodgy. I don't know who that is. Is that meant to be Belle or is that Ariel? I can't actually tell. It looks more like Ariel in a pink dress though. But looking really dodgy. I got the bad guy's little sidekick. Cinderella. This is a great little bag. The broom or mop. Little teacup. I think he's called Chip, if I remember correctly. And then there are these few Disney characters which I don't have a clue where they're from. There's this one. This weird bird thing. Really weird looking thing, but it's missing one of the turbines or whatever it is. Who knows what that is. And then this tiny little horse. So if anyone knows what these last 3 are from, please let me know because I'm stumped. So that was pretty cool. She also brought out another bag. And there's loads of random little bits. I mean, rubbish stuff like Peppa Pig and some little thing I don't have a clue what that is. Put them to the side. But then one thing caught my eye. There was these few little guys. So this guy, I think he's got Ubisoft written on him, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Ubisoft, so I can't remember what this is from. I've had a few of these Ubisoft figures now. Got this guy who's pretty cool looking. They're a nice little size, these Ubisoft ones. There was another one of these guys. And then, which I was very surprised to see, a vintage Star Wars figure. Lograi, if I remember correctly. I mean, this is like 1983, so that's the year I was born, so that's pretty awesome to see that. Very surprised to see that, so obviously I grabbed that bag straight away. It's going to stand, maybe, if I'm lucky, he stands. Then there were these few other items, don't have a clue where they're from. Well, this one is Fireman Sam. This weird thing, says BBC 2009, don't have a clue what that is. That's a weird monkey sort of thing. Looks like something from Wizard of Oz or something like that. Pretty mental looking. And I think this is a Scooby-Doo. It's Hanna-Barbera, so it looks like Scooby-Doo. It looks like Fred, his name is, isn't it? Looks like him dressed up as a pirate for some reason. So there was 2 bags that I bought all that from, and then there was a 3rd bag, but I don't have it here because it's all tiny little My Little Ponies again, the little blind bag stuff. Loads of them. There was about 25, so I've sorted all through those, and I've put all the individual ones aside for my daughter again, which people who have been watching my videos know that I'm collecting them for the future. Hopefully she's going to like My Little Pony. She'll love all those little blind bag ponies. And then all the rest, I'm just going to make a job lot and I'll stick that up on eBay or on Instagram. Right, what else did I get? Also in another charity shop, I found this little Barbie McDonald's toy. Looked pretty old, but on hindsight, the hair's been chopped, hasn't it? So I assume it is anyway, so it looks like it has been. So not sure if that was the best buy, but it was probably not a lot. And then the final item I got from the, yep, I think so, yep, from the charity shop was this baby. I mean, it's a bit, got a bit of paint on it, so it might need a bit of a clean up, but it's an awesome looking Batmobile. And it does open up, if I can remember how to do this. Do that, and there you go. There's that, and it turns into a plane, which is pretty nuts. So that was pretty cool, and I think that cost me £1, and it's bloody heavy as well. So really impressed with that. So that was Saturday, and the car boot finds. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Especially the fact I wasn't sure if we were going to get rained off on Sunday. Anyway, I'm going to make a bit of room and I'll start bringing out Sunday stuff. In fact, let me just do a quick move these all to the side to show the better stuff. Right, so went on Sunday. I went to my usual 2-car boots that I always try and do in the morning. Went pretty late actually. Decided to have a slight little lay-in. So instead of getting there for like 7:30 or something like that, woke up about 7:30, 8, and we got to the car boot at really late, 9:10, so that's really late for me. But I still managed to get around to do both car boots, and I managed to find some amazing items. So let's start. I found these 2 people. What are they again? I've totally forgotten the name. They're Fisher Price, but they're not the the famous adventure people. They are, I can't remember what they're called, but I think they're actually called This Is the Mummy and This Is the Daddy. I think they're actually called Woman and Man or something like that, or Lady. Yes, they're that imaginative with their names. But they're really good condition and they were 50p each, and I've seen them go for about £4 or something, so not a bad little buy. I then got, let me start pulling these bits out. I've got loads of little bags. I'll pull this guy out first. So I've got this Power Ranger figure. I got one of these, sorry, let me just get rid of the bag, which is making a lot of noise. Got this guy, I bought him for 50p, and I had one only about a month ago and he didn't have any of his shoulder pads. I know he's missing one, but he didn't have any of them, and he didn't have his weapon, and I sold him I think for $6.99. So this guy does pretty well, and he's got one of his shoulder pads. It's a shame he didn't have the other one, but he has got his weapon as well, so hopefully I can make even a tenner out of him, and he's in really good condition. He stands great. I mean, awesome. I've totally forgotten where he's from. It's Power Rangers something. Dino Charge it might be, I'm not sure. Then I found a bag. It cost me £2, and I've got some of these already. We had loads of tiny little figures in, so loads of Rugrat ones. They're the ones that caught my eye because there were some different ones to the ones I bought a few weeks ago, which I'm going to now make one big job lot. I'm going to split them up and see if I can make a few lots of all the figure sets. It's also got some Watership Down figures here, which I'll start pulling them all out. There's loads of them. So 2 dogs, I don't know what they are, loads of the bunnies. It also had these free riders. It had Taz there, another Watership Down bird, the little girl, can't remember loads of these, sorry I can't remember half these names. I got Daffy Duck there, got Angelica, Phil and Lil, got Wile E. Coyote free rider, tipping them out so I can just grab them. Try not to lose them all. Got this weird guy, don't know who that is, but he's a lot taller than the others. This was all in one bag for £2. Little Miss Piggy, and I got another nice Miss Piggy figure, so I might make a little set there. This little rat guy, can't remember where he's from. Phil and Lil again, so another set. Angelica again, the dog, the other little girl, I can't remember her name. And 2 more Watership Down figures, so I mean, look at the amount, I've got like 20 little figurines here and it's £2, so it works out 10p each. 23 figures, so not even 10p each, so that was absolutely great, and especially the fact that I can complete those sets I reckon now, so, because I've got Chucky, I've got Tommy, I got Tommy's little brother, is it Dill? I think it's Dill, so hopefully I can make at least one set, which would be quality, because put that up on eBay and it should do quite well on that. Loads of Rugrats fans. Then I found these few little items. I don't know where some of them are from. I had a little root around. I loved how loads of the good stuff I found rummaging basically. So I do like to have a good rummage through the boxes because loads of people just walk past them and they miss things like you'll see at the end. Got this guy. I think he's a monster in my pocket, but I don't recognise that one at all. I got a monster wrestler in my pocket. Another one of him. So loads of minifigures this time around, and I got these two. I don't have a clue where they're from, but I need to find them. I think they may be monsters in my pocket, but like sport ones. I seem to have a basketball player there and like a footballer, but these are pretty cool. I mean, I could quite easily keep them for myself, I'll be honest, but we'll see. We'll see. You know I'm going to end up keeping them. I found this guy, totally forgotten where he's from. I know it's Power Rangers, but I can't remember. It's not Ninja Storm, is it? I don't know. Can't remember. He's a bit battered, but he was only 50p again. And then I realised he's missing one of his feet pieces there, so big gutted about that. I didn't notice that at the time, but hey ho. I also got a Universal Championship belt. That cost me 50p as well. I mean, it was a day of 50p's. It was just, I couldn't believe some of the prices. They were great. So that was 50p. And I've seen these do all right. Easy tenner on eBay for some of these. So well chuffed to find out, because some of the belts don't do that good, but it's great that that one does well. Really good condition as well. I then got this little guy. Not sure what he's from, but he looks so cool. And this cost me 20p. Just realised his knee joint is a bit bent on that side, so he's had some wars. Doesn't actually say what he's from, or it's not branded with anything. But it looks like some sort of superhero. I hope it's not a bootleg because he looks so cool. Got that guy. If you know where he's from, please let me know. I then found one thing for myself, which I was well chuffed to find. It is an official one this time. I think was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was last week. I got a turtle figure, Donatello, that looked like one of the original comic version ones, but it was definitely a bootleg, you could tell. Well, funny enough, I found another turtle figure, but it is official Playmates. He is really nice looking, really chuffed to find him. This cost me £1, and it's 2014 Playmates, yep. Really nice weight to him. Looks awesome, and he's going to look great on my shelf. I mean, I'm going to stick him probably right here. There's the Donatello, if you can't see him. Just get him out. That's the one I got. And that was a bootleg, and he's so cool looking, but as you can see, they look pretty good together. Donatello's a bit taller, but I think he always was a bit taller, wasn't he? Or have I made that up? Stick them right here. They look cool together. I really like the look of them. I got for 20p a Harry Potter wand. It's weird, I got it working yesterday, but for some reason I can't seem to get it working again. I don't know if I need to do something in particular. Don't know, I'm pressing the button, but I can't seem to get it working. It was working yesterday. But that was cool, nevertheless. Perhaps I'm just not a wizard, so it's just not working, so who knows. Right, nearly there. So I got a popple. This cost me £2, but I've seen a pretty bit. This one's called. I mean, these are awesome. I actually remember these when I was younger. I didn't have them, but I'm sure my sister had them. It's the only person I could think that could have had them, but they used to go like that. They have a little popple logo in there. Really nice looking thing. Really in good condition. Great little item. Chuffed to find him. Her, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. It. And then, right, so this was at the first car boot sale. So I was going round. I was about 2/3 of the way round, and I hadn't found much. I think I found, what I found? I found this little guy. I found these two people, the monsters in my pocket, and that was it. Oh, maybe the Harry Potter wand. So it wasn't looking that great. I found a few bits, but it wasn't looking that great. Then I came to this stall. This lady just had loads of different random bits. Then a tiny little bowl of some toys in it. There was probably about 10 toys max, and I bought 5. So, and she had obviously been there a while because it was all set up, and so it just shows that it's not always the early bird that catches the worm. So, first couple of items I got, these are just alright, standard items, but they still stood out to me because they're from 1995, and it's 2 Gladiator figures. I'm pretty sure that's Jet. I'm not sure who that one is. I can't actually remember. I mean, everyone remembers Jet, but there's no likeness going on whatsoever. So who knows? They could be anyone. See if they'll stand. No, well, that one did. So those were the 2 things, but that was just, I just picked them up because I saw them. The first thing I saw when I went over to that bowl and moved something out of the way was this guy. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, this is from a 1995 film. It's called Balto. I've never seen it. Is it? It's not a DreamWorks film, I don't think. Or maybe it is. I can't remember. It's not Disney. This was... it's Universal Studios. Of course it is because it's Amblin. So I think it's the same company who done All Dogs Go to Heaven, if I remember correctly. This was a UK only KFC toy. Now I've had one of these about a year ago, and I sold it for, wait for it, bearing in mind I bought this for 50p, this, I sold it for £110. Was that right? No, £115 I sold it for. So that was to date my biggest single item I'd sold. So as you can imagine, I was absolutely chuffed to find this. Now I've done some research when I had that other wolf a year ago to find out what the other toys were. There was another 3 of them. There's a wolf called Steel, which is a black one. I assume it's the bad guy. There's a goose called Boris Gusinov, if I remember correctly. And then there's 2 little twins, which I think are the rarest ones. They're like these 2 little, they look like dogs, but they're weird little puppies, like 2 white ones together, stuck together. And as you can see, this is just hard PVC plastic, so it's got no articulation in it whatsoever. But he is already sold as well. I've already sold him. Anyway, you'll remember I said 3 items I found. So there was that guy. And then I found this guy. This is Steel from the film. Obviously at this point I was like, I couldn't actually believe it. Suddenly it made it absolutely worth getting up on Sunday. Absolutely gorgeous looking figure, especially the fact what he's worth. He's also sold already, so they're gone. You have to be quick for these figures because they are rare and they always end up going most of the time to America, even though the one I sold last year went to Italy actually, so that was the highest paid one. But obviously there was a 3rd item. I also got Boris Gusinov, who was sitting in there. I mean, I could not believe it. So out of a little tiny bowl of 10 figures, and I knew for a fact all the usual people there who go around just grabbing everything as soon as people unload their cars and vans. I knew they'd all been, because I spoke to some of the sellers and they said, oh yeah, you missed out like hours ago. They've been, completely rinsed of all the good toys they had, all the good figures. Like I know I went to the store and I missed out on Master of the Universe, TMNT, Vintage, Visionary, Centurions, what else? I can't remember, but there was like loads I was missing out on because people were telling me. There was one stall in particular, they had a few turtle figures, but I already had them. He said, yeah, you missed out, there was loads here and they're all gone. And accessories, someone took loads, spent hundreds with them. So I can imagine, but it just shows, still, even getting there late, having a bit of a lie-in, I can still pick up stuff like this. So these normally go for about 100 quid. This one does have a tiny little pen mark underneath. I'm sure someone who knows what they're doing can get rid of that. I don't have a clue, so I'm not going to start messing around with it. But like I said, he's sold already, he's on his way to America. The same buyer has bought this one. These notoriously go for about, I think 40 to 50 I see them go for, these ones, so about half the price. I've made a little bit more on him, so really chuffed, but made good money already. This guy's still pending sale. Got someone who's interested, and it is actually the same person who's bought these, so that could well be going soon. But this guy I thought was worth more, but he's actually not. He's worth the least out of all of them. It's the twins. I couldn't help but feeling a little bit gutted I didn't get the twins, because then I would have had a complete set, and I think that would have been great to have. I mean, I don't know what we're talking for a complete set, but I reckon I could have asked for 300, maybe more, for those 4 little PVC figures. Can you believe it? So, absolutely chuffed to find them. I thought I'd never see him again because I thought he was that rare. The fact that I found those 3 within a year as well of finding the other one, so happy. And even some of the other items, I mean the popple, that's great. This figure's pretty cool. The fact that I got something for myself, so this little turtle, great, and loads of little items to complete some nice bundle sets to go on eBay. So Really happy with the weekend. It was definitely worth getting up. Yeah, I'm going to stop going on about it, but keep your eyes peeled. There's some bargains still out there to be had, so don't get disheartened if you go too long. I mean, that happened with me. I was starting to run out of stock, but I'm well chuffed. Found it. So right, let's get to the end of the video before I keep going on. Please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my eBay store. Loads of this will be going up on my eBay store. That's where these have gone. If you want to grab this guy, Boris Gusinov, go for it. He's on there now. You'll start seeing everything else starting to appear. Otherwise, message me on here if you want to do a deal. I will sell direct without going through eBay if you don't have it. Again, please share, please tell everyone, and thank you for watching, and I shall see you hopefully next week.